In my 40 cycles of instructing at the Galactic Defense Academy, I thought I had seen every variety of stupid that the universe had to offer. I was wrong. Dead wrong. And the worst part? The stupid came wearing the human smile. Commander Vex stood at the front of the briefing hall, all 7 feet of his crystalline-line forest physiology gleaming under the harsh light. His 3 eyes scanned the assembled cadets with the kind of expression that said he would rather be literally anywhere else. To be fair, I understood the feeling. This was the lecture, the one nobody wanted to give and nobody wanted to share. Attention, Vex's voice crackled through the translation matrix, sounding like Grinding Stone Jones having an argument. Today marks your introduction to Survival Protocol Examination 97, commonly known as the Apex Predator scenario. A collective groan rippled through the assembled cadets, 50 different species, 50 different ways to express existential dread. Beautiful, really, how universal terror can be. I was sitting 3 rows back, my sensory stalks twitching with anticipation. This was going to be entertaining. Not for the cadets, obviously. For them, it was going to be traumatic. But for me, a seasoned observer, pure theater. Vex activated the holo display, and there it was, the thing, the absolute nightmare fuel that had been haunting cadet dreams for generations. The Apex Predator simulation render rotated slowly in the air, all teeth and claws and murder, standing roughly 12 feet tall with armor plating that made battleship hulls look like wet paper. This creature, Vex continued, his middle eye focusing with uncomfortable intensity, is specifically designed to be completely, utterly, and absolutely unkillable by any weapon in your current arsenal. Its hide deflects plasma, its regeneration outpaces projectile damage, energy weapons feed it, explosives make it angry. Are we clear? Crystal clear, sir, said Keller, whose exoskeleton was already showing stress fractures. The poor kid was literally cracking under pressure, and the test had not even started yet. This A, the Quillen sitting beside him, had gone through approximately 6 color changes in the last minute. Her species communicated partially through bioluminescence, and right now she was screaming silent terror in about 15 different hues. The objective, Vex said, letting the words hang like a death sentence, is not to fight. It is not to win. It is to survive. You will learn tactical retreat. You will learn when to abandon pride. You will learn that some battles cannot be won, only endured. Graduation requires passing this test. There are no exceptions. That was when I noticed him, the human. Rafi, right? According to my data file, sitting in the back row, looking as concerned as someone waiting for toast to pop. Humans. Why did it always have to be humans? He raised his hand. Vex's eyes all swiveled toward him with the enthusiasm of someone spotting a parasite in their morning news. Cadet Wright. Yeah, hi. Quick question, Rafi said, his tone aggressively casual. You said the hide deflects plasma and regenerates through projectile damage. What is the regeneration rate exactly, and what is the molecular composition of the armor plating? The briefing hall went quiet. Not the good kind of quiet. The kind of quiet that happens right before someone says something monumentally stupid. Vex's crystalline structure actually creaked. Cadet Wright, did you miss the part where I said unkillable? No, sir, I heard that part, Rafi replied, leaning back in his seat like he was discussing the weather. I'm just curious about the specifics. Does it regenerate cellularly or through some kind of quantum restructuring? And the armor, is it organic, synthetic, or a composite? Braddock, a hulking Corfian sitting 2 seats away from Raphael, leaned over. Human, he rumbled in that subharmonic way his species had. The instructor is telling us to run away. Why are you asking how to study it? Knowledge is power, big guy, Rafi said with a shrug. I watched Vex's color shift from his normal prismatic blue to a distinctly irritated purple. Cadet Wright, the simulation creature's specifications are classified at level 7. You will not receive that information. What you will receive is a failing grade if you attempt anything other than survival tactics. Am I perfectly, absolutely crystal clear? Sure, Rafi said. But here's the thing about humans. When they say sure, they don't actually mean yes. They mean I heard the sounds you made with your face." This A had cycled back to her normal pale green, though her tendrils were still twitching nervously. "Has anyone actually killed the simulation creature?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "In 70 years of this program," Beck said, "across 43,000 cadets, exactly 0 have eliminated the apex predator, because it cannot be done. The test is not about winning, it is about surviving long enough to reach the escape point. 3 kilometers, 30 minutes, that's all." "Sounds fun," Raffi muttered. Kalarian's exoskeleton cracked a bit more. I made a mental note to keep my sensory stalks trained on the human during the simulation. Something about his body language, the way he held himself, the complete lack of appropriate fear, it all screamed trouble. And in my experience, when humans got that particular look in their eyes, the universe was about to learn something new, usually something explosive. "You are all dismissed," Vex announced. "Report to the simulation deck at 0800 tomorrow. Get rest, make peace with your deities, try not to die." As the cadets filed out, I noticed Raffi lingering, his eyes still locked on the rotating hologram of the apex predator. He wasn't looking at it with fear, he was looking at it like a problem. Oh, this was going to be good. The armory at 700 was a symphony of panic and poor decision-making. Cadets scrambled through equipment racks like their lives depended on it, which, to be fair, sort of did. Simulation or not, the pain receptors were real enough, and nobody wanted to experience being virtually mauled by an apex predator before breakfast. Keller was loading his 3rd portable shield generator onto his harness, then his 4th. His exoskeleton was groaning under the weight, but apparently his survival strategy was to become a mobile fortress and prey to whatever Brevik deity handled lost causes. "More shields," he muttered to himself, reaching for a 5th unit. "Definitely need more shields." This A had gone in the opposite direction, selecting the lightest possible gear. Her philosophy was clearly speed over protection. Smart, actually. Can't get eaten if you're too fast to catch. Her bioluminescence had settled into a determined orange, which in color language roughly translated to "I'm terrified, but pretending I'm not." Brevik, being a Corfian, had the luxury of natural armor plating that could shrug off small arms fire. He was casually selecting a standard rifle and some basic supplies, looking about as worried as a boulder contemplating rain. And then there was Raffi, the human. He had commandeered an entire workstation in the corner of the armory and had spread out enough equipment to feed a small militia. But here's what made it weird. He wasn't gearing up, he was taking things apart. "What is the human doing?" Keller asked, his translator barely managing to convey his confusion through the stress fractures in his voice. I had positioned myself near the equipment lockers with a perfect view of the chaos. My sensory stalks are natural observers. We have sensory stalks specifically evolved for being nosy. It's practically our cultural heritage. He appeared to be... I paused my stalks, focusing on Raffi's hands disassembling a plasma rifle while reading technical manuals on exothermic reactions and metallurgical stress points. "Why?" this A asked, color shifting to a confused yellow-green. "Because he is human," Brevik rumbled. "They are all insane." Now here's the thing about humans that the rest of the galaxy learned the hard way. When the Galactic Council first made contact with Earth, we thought we had found a species of moderately intelligent primates with decent tool-making skills and concerning aggression levels. Standard stuff. We'd seen dozen species like that. We were wrong. Humans don't accept limits. They don't acknowledge impossible. You tell a human something can't be done, they find another path. You tell a Brevik something is impossible, they agree and adapt. You tell a Corfian the odds, they calculate and adjust. You tell a human something can't be done, they take it as a personal insult, a challenge. They split atoms because someone said they couldn't. They went to their moon because it was difficult. They domesticated wolves into pets, crossed oceans on wooden planks, and invented warfare as both an art form and a science. Their homeworld tried to kill them with predators, diseases, weather, and geological disasters. Their response? They became the dominant species anyway, and then got bored and left to find new challenges. The galaxy didn't invite humans to join the Galactic Defense Academy because we thought they would follow the rules. We invited them because when the universe says no, humans are the only species arrogant enough to argue.
Rafi had now completely disassembled 3 different weapons and was sorting components into piles that made no sense to us watching it. He had power cells next to what looked like medical supplies, a targeting computer sitting next to a plasma torch, and a concerning amount of adhesive compounds. Cadet Wright, Equipment Master Tour, broached, his trunks waving in agitation. "You're supposed to be selecting gear, not conducting unauthorized modifications." "I'm just doing some research, sir," Rafi called back, not looking up from whatever unholy combination he was building. "Research?" Torin repeated, his species equivalent of a skeptical eyebrow raise. "The simulation begins in 50 minutes, plenty of time." I watched as Rafi pulled out his personal data pad and started cross-referencing. His fingers moved quickly, pulling up files on biological systems, energy transfer coefficients, and something about thermodynamic shock responses. Whatever he was planning, it involved math,